Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Turkey's leading logistics and automotive media group, AYSBERG, I warmly welcome you to the next round of Tea&Talk. My name is Stefan Iskan'ın. I am Professor of Supply Chain Management and E-Business at the University of Applied Sciences Ludwigshafen am Rhein in Germany. I am academic advisor of the AYSBERG Media Group. Next to me is sitting and joining the next interview round Mr. Sedat Gümüşoğlu. Sedat Bey is CEO of RORO. Sedat Bey, welcome and hoş geldiniz.
Hoş bulduk.
How is logitrans so far running?
So far, so good, I can say. Yesterday was more crowded, and today we have many visitors from all the industry.
Yeah.
So it's very good. You know, every year it's improving and attracting more business people here.
Sedat Bey, you are representing RORO. RORO is an intermodal shipping operator from Turkey that is offering RORO solutions via own vessels between Turkey, Trieste in Italy, and also to France, for example.
Right.
It was founded, as far as I know, in 1994 by about 50 Turkish logistics companies. A success story so far?
Right. You know, it's a unique business model, I have to say. You know, it started, as you said, after 1994, after the former Yugoslavia, you know, when the incident happened.
The Balkan War.
Balkan War. You know, the Turkish truckers were not able to pass through the Balkan and reach to European countries. And as you know, Turkish trade is with Europe more than 50%, especially for the export side. So this was affected significantly, and with the initiatives of the truckers, they set up the company with two vessels at that time. But during the time, it became a real alternative to the land transport. Even it became superior to the land transport with the advantages it bring. And now we are operating, as you said, with several lines.
Yeah.
It's a network, full covering from Turkey to European trade. And we are operating with 12 vessels. And every week we have 11 departures from Turkey.
11.
On a yearly basis, we are carrying more than 200,000 trucks, which is a significant number. And total, we have a 65% market share in the RORO market, who is operating to that region.
You mentioned a market share of 65%, which means in the history of 20 years of about RORO, how have your organizational structures been growing and been developed in your company?
You know, as you are adding more lines to your infrastructure, you have to have organizations serving to each line. So, especially, we are mainly focused on the operation side to improve the port infrastructure, the vessel speed, vessel efficiency. There we have added a lot of personnel, and to improve the efficiency on the operational side. And on the sales side as well, you know, as we are covering a huge market share in the market, in order to reach all the customers and all modes of transport, we are also investing in the sales people and sales operation as well.
You mentioned your network and your vessel connections. You also mentioned speed as part of your business model.
Right.
I would say, and I have worked in railway business in between Germany and Turkey, I would say RORO is offering a very solid and reliable lead time. But actually, we can see the refugee flows in the Balkan route. How is this affecting also the RORO business?
I think this is one of the advantage of us because, you know, on the land transport, the refugee problem is much more relevant. Whereas in our services, all the units that are entering to our port is being scanned by the X-ray or gamma ray machines.
Yeah.
So there's no way of a refugee getting into our ships through the vehicles that we are carrying. So, which means that when we reach to the final destination of the port, we don't have a refugee problem. And what we see as a trend currently is that the refugee problem that is happening on the land side is switching a part of the land cargo to the sea side, and we are getting more market share nowadays. So in the long run, it will not an issue for us as well.
I cross my fingers. Before our interview, you have been here already for a while. You have been in time, and you said we are coming from a scheduled business.
Right.
What are your customers expecting towards digitalization and automatization? What kind of e-services are you offering to your customers in this respect?
I think, first of all, our customers are after efficiency on the cost side, reliability on the service side.
Yeah.
I think these two are very important. And how we provide reliability is, as I said, we have a schedule service.
Notification upfront.
Yeah, and plus, what we are aiming is now to be an intermodal infrastructure provider, not only a RORO operator. So we are also providing some terminal services in the port of Trieste, plus some connected rail services all the way to the inland of the Europe. So with all this system in our hand, we have to give them a fixed place before they arrive to our terminal, a booking in the vessel, also a booking in the train. So what currently we are giving to them is that, when they come to our terminal on Monday, they know that after 4 days they will be reaching the final destination. And there's a very good tracking system through our internet site.
Yeah.
When they enter their customer code, they can follow on where their units are. So,
is it in time, or do you have colleagues in the back office that are manually putting in the data?
A customer who is working with our system is eligible or able to see all of their units, where they are and when they're going to be ended up with the final destination.
I would say the RORO business can only be as strong as long as the Turkish import and export flows are running.
That's right.
We are looking back here in November at logitrans on economical and political instable economic conditions also in Turkey, but also on the route between. The import costs due to the Turkish lira devaluation and other economical aspects have risen. What does it mean for your business and your volumes?
I think the good side of the story is we have a two-way trade. It's not one-way trade.
Yeah.
So, when there's import, then there's some value-added services that are done in Turkey, then it's again turns into an export. So throughout the 20 years period, we have always seen a balanced traffic on each side. Yes, from time to time, when there's really big fluctuations on the exchange rate, there is some kind of an imbalance. Nowadays we are experiencing, especially on the import side, there's significant imbalance. But how do we solve this problem is we are providing our customers a special code, especially almost for free delivery of the empty trailers back to Turkey to carry on the full trailers and turn into an export again.
Have you once thought about concepts like yield management?
Sorry?
Yield management, that you are offering your prices depending on current economic situation, about the market conditions, so you are able, for example, in time and one day before, to react with your prices on your utilization degree?
We have a fixed price policy, I can say. By the beginning of every year, we provide fixed price to our customers. So it is declared and announced.
And reliable for the budget.
Yeah, so by this way, all of our customers know that they are treated equally, and they have the same position when they're going to fix the cargo contracts. But what we have, in addition to fixed prices, are first we have BIF surcharge, which is whenever the fuel
That's
prices
normal in
go
ocean
down,
freight, right?
which is we have to because we are competing against the land route,
Yeah.
and whenever the fuel prices go down, also the land transportation cost goes down.
Yeah.
We have to decrease the prices. And secondly, we have just introduced this year is a destination-based pricing. So for the, RORO is very advantageous for the shoreline. If you are delivering to the shore countries, it's very advantageous because there's less land transport. But when you are going inland, there will be additional costs. So we provide our customers destination-based pricing, which means that a trailer who is going to, let's say, UK to Italy will get additional subsidies to compensate the additional cost that they have during the voyage. So we are providing this kind of additional promotional services. And as I said, from time to time, depending on the volume, we are doing some promotional activities to attract more customers from the land routes.
Sedat Bey, you mentioned customers.
Yeah.
You have been found in the 90s, as mentioned, by Turkish forwarders.
Right.
Can you give us an overview about the share in your portfolio on international and Turkish forwarding companies using the RORO services?
RORO was founded by the Turkish Trucking Association, under the Turkish Trucking Association, by the truckers itself. The owners were truckers. But as it grew during the years, by 2007 it was sold to an independent entity who is not a part of a trucking business and tried to serve all the industry. I can say during that time, it was serving mainly to the Turkish truckers, still the same. We can say 80 to 90% of our customers are still Turkish truckers and the members of Turkish Trucking Association, whereas we have also 10% roughly foreign customers, especially we have customers coming from Iran passing through Turkey. So it's a kind of a transit traffic customers are foreign customers. Otherwise, our majority of customers are Turkish truckers.
How is the mood in the Turkish forwarding industry from your perspective?
I think, as every other business, after 2007,
it's bad, as always.
No, it's not bad, but you cannot call it bad. But after 2007, 2008, in big economic crisis, every sector had its own problems, and the margins are getting low. Competition is high, so you have to find efficiencies everywhere. That's what Turkish trucking industry is doing. I can give several examples. They were working with full truck, tractor, and also the semi-trailers. But now they are working with semi-trailer only, and they're keeping the tractors on both ends. With RORO system, they gain efficiency. Now, with the intermodal infrastructure that we are providing, which is the train services, they are gaining more efficiencies as well. So less tractor is needed. Even without the wheel turning, a truck can go to the final destination with the intermodal services. I think the mood in the industry is to always improve the operational efficiency, which is a need, I think. Otherwise, we cannot survive.
Survive, and the mood is not that bad, as you say. I would say Turkish people as an economy and society is used to be in a kind of crisis mode. They are always able to react, they are agile, they are flexible, they always have ideas how to improve. What could foreign companies from Central Europe or Germany, what could they learn from the Turkish culture from your side?
It's a practice for us. I'm in the business life more than 20 years. 1994, 2001, 2008. Every 7 years we have a crisis affecting either international or local. And from time to time we have internal problems as well. And around Turkey we have problems. You see now, there are too many conflicts around us. Syrian conflict, Northern Iraq conflict.
Despite that fact, Turkey is still stable, politically and economically, right?
I think for the foreign companies, I suggest them to either to get into mood by the practices that they can have here, or they can have a joint venture with some of the Turkish businessmen to understand the mentality here and to do good business.
Sedat Bey, you mentioned the keyword efficiency.
Right.
Which other topics will the Turkish forwarding industry or the logistics industry keeping on to go in the next couple of years?
I think there are several words we should really take in our agenda and follow on every year. One of them is efficiency. For the trucking industry, I would say for logistics, intermodal. Environmental friendly, reliable systems will be much more popular in the coming years. So they should take these issues in their agenda and really deeply focus in that and work with on these issues. There, we are at the field because we are here to help them to provide more intermodal services. That's going to be much more popular in the next years because every government will be avoiding land traffic, and it will more switch to multimodal and intermodal.
Looking back to this business year, are you happy with the figures and the EBIT? With your set goals?
2015 was quite a strange year, I can say. For the first half, it was not that strong versus last year. The growth rate versus last year in the overall market was 1 to 2%, which is okay because the European economies are growing 1 to 2%, and also Turkey is growing 3 to 4% this year. So this can be understandable. But after August, especially for September and October, the export was very strong, I have to say. So I also talk with our customers here. They are having almost no empty trailers at all. So last 2 months was very strong. I expect the coming 2 months will be strong as well. And needless to say, we have 4 years to go for another election period. So coming 4 years will be a little bit, I can say, stable in terms of there will be less questions in the mind of the investors. So it will help the economic environment to improve as well.
Let's have an outlook on the next business year. What can customers in Turkey and in Europe expect from RORO? What's coming next? What kind of markets do you want to serve in the next couple of years and the next year, by the way?
We are every year searching for new routes. Since 2008, I look now to my agenda. Every year we have opened new routes. which is a need for the industry. So, it's coming from our customers that we should be opening new routes, and we introduced this to the market. Some worked very well, some didn't work very well, and we need to close it. We were to close it. But next year we will be adding up a new route.
It's also depending on the political environment, of course.
But we will be adding a European call for the next year, which is the Ambarlı port. So we will be serving from the European side of Istanbul to our customers for the next year. That's one of the new services that we'll be introducing.
Great. Sedat Bey, I know that you are in a hurry. You still have a lot of customer meetings here at the Logitrans exhibitions.
Around here also.
They are already around us, and they're making a lot of pressure. I see them in the faces. I would like to thank you for joining the Chai Talk. Yeah. Please have a seat, take your time. Don't let you pressure from your customers, and have some sweets.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.